Oh my god, it's another room no one's ever seen. So, as very few of you guys know, I have been working for the last month and a half or so on writing incidental music for a show for the DC Fringe Festival. I'll put the poster up maybe like here. So this show is an interpretation of William Shakespeare's Midsummer Night's Dream. It's cut down to about an hour and is set in the punk scene in 1970s New York. We originally wanted to do 1970s London so we could get all the anti-Thatcherist stuff going, but we didn't want all the actors to have to speak with British accents because that just wouldn't go well. So we switched to New York so we could have more colors to work with costumes, and put a little less politics into it, I guess. So today I'm going to be playing some of the little motifs and things that I've been working on, some of the basic aspects of the show. The motifs I have are one motif for each pair of lovers, so two of those, and then one for each of the sort of major characters. So Puck has one, Oberon has one, Titania has one, the Royals have one, and the Mechanicals have an introductory motif. The Mechanicals are the characters like Bottom and Peter Quince and Flute and whatnot that are putting on the play within a play. So the first one I'm going to play is a theme that I've been working on for Oberon. Now Oberon and Titania I originally wanted to base off the Royals, which is a theme that's in a major key version of the kind of thing, but not really. You'll see in a little bit. So I decided that didn't really work well, at least for Oberon, because while there's always sort of double cast, they're really different characters, and I didn't want to play into so much the fact that they are sort of parallels. I wanted to accent the differences between them. So what I did was I put it in a minor key instead of a major key, so you get the classic bass line. I put it into E minor, and then I added a sort of almost metal-y lick on top of it, so I'll have to see what the director thinks about this. This is one of the first licks he's getting at it also. The lick that goes on top of it, and sort of the motif, is the bass is going to be doing a drone on E, so whenever I get to the top of a measure, I'm going to hit that E and then play the next part of the lick. And then there's a descending in the middle of it, but it's accented by a bit, so it goes sort of like this. So while the guitar is doing that, at about that point, I put in a B minor 7, or not a B minor 7, I put a B7 flat 9 to sort of have a really strong cadence there to indicate that it's changing a bit. And the guitar is going to start going into just a kind of thing. So it's punky, it's even eighths, it's just going straight like that. And the bass is going to start doing, but there's going to be two vocal parts, which are going to be two of the other mechanicals, because it's the band, and then two other mechanicals. And they are going to be harmonizing the chords a bit, so it's going to be, while the bass is doing this, the vocals are going to be sort of keeping it rooted in the E minor, but then also bringing in the D major when the guitar gets to there and indicating the weak cadence that's part of that. Now that's all going to crescendo and build to a head until eventually I bring in that B7 flat 9, but I'm going to add a flat 13 on top, so you're going to get this chord. Or a sharp 9, sharp 13 is what I'm ending on, so you're going to get... and then the scene will start. Now, I, for one, always get the lovers mixed up in the show. I can never remember who's supposed to be running off with who for what reason. But so this is the lovers theme for the people that start off in love, and it's going to be a parody of Earth Angel, you know? So the chord progression, it's going to be in E major, and it's just going to be, you know. That. The only difference is we are going to end with not really deceptive motion, just weird motion at the end. So the last time through, it's gonna be building the whole time, because a lot of this is about crescendos because it's a show. So the last time is going to be. That's going to be the last time. The other lovers, I have a little chord progression. It's just a little chord progression. It's, you know. Yeah, that's the those are the lovers themes, the basic chords for the lovers themes. The first one is going to have a vocal melody over it. Like that. Just gonna be, you know, like ooze, and it's gonna be it's a complete parody of that song, and then it's just gonna like completely break out of that, and you know into that. Now the next one we have is Puck, and Puck is sort of always really energetic and really involved character. So this is gonna have a lot of drum work, a lot of really active drums that are sort of make it feel twitchy and over the top, I think, which is good for the character in my opinion. But the bass is going to be doing which sounds like it's a major thing, but actually we're going to harmonic minor, because the guitar is just going to be doing an ascending and descending thing in a harmonic minor scale. So it's thing, because Puck gets short thing, because he's not going to waste time, you know, with a whole grand piece for him. And then there's going to be a lot of drum fill in under that. Now, originally for Titania, I wanted to do something kind of based off of Pachelbel's canon, because it can be really sweet and sweet and nice, but at the same time you have a lot of songs, you know. That use it really well in a really heavy sort of way, but I've really been going away from that lately. So what I have is a lot of songs. There's a song I've had stuck in my head a lot. It's a song by the Exploding Hearts called Teenage Faces. So it's going to start off with this, you know, which is sort of it's a D sus4 to a D major chord. So it's going to be doing that, and then it's going to go into going to do that for 2 bars, and then 2 bars, and then it's just going to drop the and just go. So that's it, because I sort of think that as Titania is going to be the really stereo, in my mind at least, is a rock chick. You know, she's the head of all the rock chicks. She's the perfect idea. She is what you want to be if you want to be a chick rock star. She's Joan Jett. So it's going to be really simplified, really raw, and really sort of head turning, if you will. We're going to move on to some of the spells, which are short little pieces. Like the first spell, I believe, is 4 bars long, that are little short things in the show that have a lot of power and usually involve Puck. And I really like Puck as a character. He's one of my favorite Shakespeare characters. He's one of everyone's favorite Shakespeare characters. So, but I put him in A minor in this show, and I'm going to keep a lot of the spells in minor keys, at least the spells in the beginning. Toward the end, there's one that I believe is an F major. So, but the first one is sort of kind of like Puck's theme, but we're in A minor, so it's... and then... one to end on a Picardy third to sort of just throw everyone off there, because the spells are supposed to have a good effect. At least this one. I believe this is the one that he's trying to, he's dicking around with the lovers, I think, and they're supposed to end up well. So it should end on a major chord. Okay, so this next spell is again associated with Oberon, so it's very similar to Oberon's theme. It has the E minor and D thing. So, but this is I think this is where he's trying to mess with Titania and get him to fall in love with Bottom, who's the donkey at this point. So, at least I think that's what the order of the show is. So, it's going to start off, a drone on E in the guitar. Like that, so you get the sort of, but in a wider range, and in the key associated with Oberon. Now, the Royals kind of represent the top brass of the last generation in my mind in music, and when I was originally starting to do this, I thought, okay, I'm going to just do something bluesy, because that sounds old, so he's going to... something like that. But I realized that for punk, blues and that kind of rock and roll wasn't the last generation. The last generation were bands like Pink Floyd. So I came up with a little introduction thing that's sort of very out there and has a lot of modal borrowing and stuff that I feel is very Floyd-y that I was going to use. So what I did is I did this. So it's something like that. And it's going to be simple and not too punky and sort of ethereal, because that was what was going on before this. So that's all that I feel ready to show you guys. The show is going to go up mid to late July, and if any of you guys have the means, I highly recommend coming up. I'm going to put the show dates and times in the doobly-doo down there. So thank you guys, and I'll see you next time.